And we are going to make our country great again.
Kamala, you're fired. Get out of here. You're fired.
Be God. Congratulations, Mr. President.
Famous for the phrase, "If you're going to be thinking, you may as well think big," billionaire and former President Donald Trump didn't just build a $5.5 billion real estate empire with luxurious projects like Trump Tower and the Mar-a-Lago Resort. He also amassed a top-tier collection of private jets and luxury yachts. Yet, Trump's ambitions didn't stop with business. With a stunning victory in the 2016 election, he became the 45th President of the United States, aiming to make America great again. During his term, Trump led the U.S. economy to unprecedented growth, with unemployment reaching record lows and GDP soaring. Now, he is racing for the presidency for a third time. So how did a billionaire with no political experience manage to win over American voters and create a historical achievement? Can Trump turn the tide once more and reclaim the most powerful position on the planet? Join us in today's video to explore this fascinating story. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss more exciting stories. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump, a talented heir, was born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, New York City, USA. Donald Trump is the fourth son of the renowned New York real estate mogul, Fred Trump. About 50 years ago, the Trump family had already amassed millions of dollars through rental apartment buildings in areas like Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island. Trump's childhood was linked to a lavish 23-room house in the prestigious Jamaica Estates. Despite growing up in a wealthy family, Trump started by doing the most basic jobs in his father's company and was sent to a military academy at the age of 13 due to behavioral issues at school. After choosing to study at the Wharton School of Finance, one of the top business schools in the U.S., rivaling Stanford and Harvard, he became the obvious candidate to succeed his father after his older brother, Fred Trump Jr., chose to pursue a career as a pilot. Unfortunately, Fred Trump Jr. passed away at the age of 43 due to alcoholism. This loss led Trump to make a lifelong decision to avoid alcohol and smoking. While still a college student, Trump got involved in the family business and quickly laid the foundation for his real estate career. With a bold, direct approach and a willingness to take risks, Trump made a noticeable impact on his father's company, consistently investing in large and challenging projects. One of his first major projects was the redevelopment of a $5.7 million apartment complex. By investing an additional $500,000, he and his father increased the occupancy rate of 1,200 apartments from 34% to 100%, and later sold it for $6.75 million. By the time he graduated in 1968, Trump had $200,000 to his name. He continued to manage his father's real estate projects in various New York boroughs. 3 years later, at 25, Trump took over the family business, renaming it from Elizabeth Trump & Son to Trump Organization. Trump shifted the company's focus from residential areas in Brooklyn and Queens to upscale projects in Manhattan. He transformed the aging Commodore Hotel into the grandiose Grand Hyatt and built the 68-story Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue, one of his most iconic assets. Trump Towers would later spread to other countries, including India, Turkey, and the Philippines. In the 1980s, Trump opened hotels and casinos in Atlantic City, New Jersey, acquired the Plaza Hotel in Manhattan, and bought Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, transforming it into a private club. He also briefly owned an airline and a professional football team. Hundreds of businesses, organizations, hotels, entertainment complexes, casinos, and more are associated with the Trump name, something rarely seen in the business world. However, success didn't always accompany the real estate mogul. In 1990, Trump Organization announced losses of up to $5 billion, and Trump was on the brink of bankruptcy due to poor business decisions. But during this difficult period, he managed to bounce back and astonish the financial world with an impressive recovery. Under pressure from creditors, Trump had to negotiate to retain some unfinished real estate projects, including the Trump Taj Mahal Casino in Atlantic City, the primary reason for his troubles. In 1991, he had to give up a portion of ownership in Taj Mahal to the original investors in exchange for better interest rates and extended repayment terms. He even had to file for bankruptcy twice in 1991 and 1992. From a renowned billionaire, he became someone burdened with massive debts, at times comparing his plight to being worse off than a homeless person on Fifth Avenue in New York. However, with relentless effort, talent, and a bold spirit, Trump managed to overcome the most challenging period of his life. From that point, his career flourished. In 2001, Trump inaugurated the Trump World Tower, a 72-story skyscraper directly across from the United Nations headquarters in Midtown Manhattan, New York City. He also launched the Trump Place project, a series of office buildings along the Hudson River. In addition, he acquired a prime business location at Trump International Hotel and Tower, a 44-story complex combining hotel and residential units at Columbus Circle. He also owns hundreds of thousands of square feet of premium real estate in Manhattan. With his remarkable achievements in real estate, Donald Trump built a formidable empire that anyone in the financial world must respect. Famous for his bold statements, billionaire Trump also has inspiring words for young people and business enthusiasts, like, "If you're going to think big." Before becoming president in 2016, Trump's net worth was estimated at around $4.5 billion. After 4 years in office, his wealth dropped to $2.5 billion, yet he remained the richest president in history. According to Forbes, Trump's net worth has since rebounded significantly, reaching $5.5 billion. Donald Trump, the master of personal branding. There's no denying that Trump is one of the most successful personal brand builders of his generation. Even former President Bill Clinton once called him a master of branding. Trump consistently attached his name to his actions, words, and wherever he went. Over 4 decades of leading the Trump Organization, he founded and managed over 500 subsidiaries, including hotels, golf courses, airlines, sports teams, TV shows, and more. Out of these, 318 brands bear the Trump name. In his 2000 book, Trump said, "People often laughed at me for putting my name on buildings and projects. But the truth is, they sold for more with my name on them. I was criticized for branding my name on buildings and casinos, but it was a marketing strategy. Most buildings with the Trump name rented at higher prices than the average." Trump admitted, "But most importantly, I love the spotlight. The more exposure I get, the more people know my brand." With this mindset, he stepped into television, becoming the face and host of his reality business show, The Apprentice. From that point, Donald Trump became known across America as a master negotiator, someone unafraid to make controversial statements that always drew attention. Financially, he understood the power of leverage and never hesitated to face risks. In terms of marketing, he knew how to harness the media to transform a real estate empire into a global brand. The highest-paid TV star in American entertainment. Donald Trump was nominated twice for an Emmy and appeared in over 200 movies and TV shows, often playing himself in comedies like The Nanny, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Days of Our Lives, and Wall Street. Money Never Sleeps. In 1996, he partnered with NBC to buy the rights to the Miss Universe pageant, which led to the expansion of other pageants like Miss America, Miss USA, and Miss Teen USA. Today, Miss Universe remains one of the 5 most prestigious beauty pageants globally. In 2003, Trump took on the role of executive producer and host of NBC's reality show, The Apprentice. In the first season, he earned nearly $700,000. Later, his salary soared to $3 million per episode, making him one of the highest-paid TV stars in the American entertainment industry. Over 14 seasons, Trump became famous for his iconic phrase, "You're fired." In 2007, he received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, recognizing his contributions to American television. Beyond his role as a businessman and TV personality, Trump is also the author of 36 books, many of which became bestsellers, such as The Art of the Deal, How I Got Rich, Think Like a Billionaire, America from the Inside Out, and How to Make America Strong Again, among others. The Road to the White House, Building the Strongest Economy. On June 16, 2015, Donald Trump officially announced his candidacy for President of the United States. At his campaign rally, he said that America had grown too accustomed to promises without action. He pledged to bring real change and restore America's greatness. "I will be the greatest president in U.S. history," he confidently declared. On May 3, 2016, after winning 54% of the primary votes in Indiana, and with Ohio Governor John Kasich and Texas Senator Ted Cruz withdrawing from the race, Trump became the sole Republican candidate. On November 8, 2016, billionaire Trump secured a sweeping victory over Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton, becoming the 45th president of the United States. He set a record as the first billionaire businessman to become commander-in-chief of the country without any prior political or military experience. After the election results, Singapore's Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong expressed surprise. His campaign was full of surprises, and at every stage, he defied all expectations. In the end, Trump achieved his goal when he stepped into the White House. What has made Trump so appealing, and why has he garnered such widespread support from many Americans? After the intense U.S. elections, data revealed that Trump's supporters span across all demographics, covering every age, profession, and socioeconomic background. This diversity reflects the broad impact he has had on the American public. Many of his supporters are those who feel that America has become less safe than it used to be, and believe a strong leader is needed to restore a sense of safety and security. They view Trump as the person who can shield them from threats, both domestic and international. Part of this appeal comes from Trump's straightforward and clear-cut view of the world. For him and his followers, the complex problems of the world can be simplified into basic concepts: right versus wrong, good versus bad. This perspective offers a sense of clarity for those who seek certainty and stability in an unpredictable and ever-changing world. Additionally, his business success has gained admiration, seen a testament to his determination, resilience, and ability to pursue goals relentlessly. His confidence, decisiveness, and ability to tell it like it is make many people view him as a distinctive and valuable voice, contrasting with the more conventional politicians. Above all, his supporters long to see America revitalized, regaining the golden era of wealth and global standing that they believe has been eroding over the past few decades. The Trump family has significantly contributed to fostering one of the strongest economies in modern history, with the exception of the COVID-19 crisis period. When Trump officially took office in 2017, he inherited an economy that was on an upward trend from his predecessor, President Barack Obama, and he continued to accelerate its growth. Under his leadership, the labor market experienced the longest job growth streak in American history. On average, from the time Trump took office until February 2020, approximately 101,500 new jobs were created each month. Just before the COVID-19 pandemic hit, the unemployment rate had dropped to its lowest point in 50 years, standing at around 3%, a figure not seen in decades. Notably, the unemployment rate for African Americans also reached a historic low of 5.3%, marking a significant achievement. This economic growth was further highlighted by the average household income in the United States. Prior to the emergence of COVID-19, household income rose the most it had in over 40 years, peaking at a record $68,700 in 2019, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. This impressive figure reflects increased purchasing power and improved quality of life for many Americans. Simultaneously, the poverty rate fell to 10.5%, the lowest in 6 decades, indicating that Trump's economic policies had a positive impact in reducing income inequality and promoting economic opportunities. Trump's term was also marked by a surge in the stock market, with numerous record highs set one after another, sparking a wave of optimism on Wall Street. Billionaire investor Stanley Druckenmiller, a former hedge fund manager for billionaire George Soros, expressed confidence in Trump's chances of winning the 2024 presidential election. He noted that the financial market has shown optimism about Trump's potential return to the White House. In recent weeks, positive signs from the financial markets have been clear, especially in the growth of bank stocks and cryptocurrencies. You can see it through the rise in bank stocks and the positive momentum in the cryptocurrency market, Druckenmiller remarked in an interview with Bloomberg Television. Major banks like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citibank, and JP Morgan Chase reported stronger financial results compared to the previous year. Meanwhile, North America is becoming a leading force in the global cryptocurrency market, with about $1.3 trillion invested in blockchain platforms, according to a report by Chainalysis. When asked whom he would vote for in the upcoming election, Druckenmiller replied, I wouldn't choose any of them. This response reflects the financial sector's cautious attitude towards America's political future. Although he once worked for the left-leaning media mogul George Soros, Druckenmiller still believes that if Kamala Harris were to become president, businesses would face greater challenges than under Trump's leadership. Additionally, Druckenmiller predicted that it would be difficult for Democrats to fully control Congress, even if Harris were to win. Conversely, if Trump were to be re-elected, there is a high chance that Congress would be under Democratic control, leading to a more complex political landscape. Meanwhile, Scott Bessent, another former Soros associate, shared his view that Trump is pursuing a growth-oriented agenda, emphasizing the importance of bringing America back to business and international competition. I believe Trump can win again, and I'm ready to support him in any way I can. But that only matters if he actually secures a victory, said the CEO of Keysquare Capital Management. According to analysts from the Wall Street Journal, betting markets also show a preference for Trump, with around $30 million in cryptocurrency from 4 Polymarket accounts wagered on the outcome of this year's election. So why are many American voters eager to see Trump back in the White House? While under President Joe Biden, the U.S. economy has shown notable signs of recovery post-pandemic, particularly with record-low unemployment rates. Some voters remain dissatisfied with the current economic situation, especially concerning inflation. Inflation has eased slightly recently, with the latest Consumer Price Index, CPI, showing an annual increase of only 3%. However, prices have risen significantly over the past 2 years, making daily life harder for many citizens. Overall, inflation has surged by about 20% since February 2020, just before the pandemic, reducing the purchasing power of numerous American households. This contrasts sharply with the early years of Trump's presidency, when real income was steadily rising. Interviews with CNN revealed that many Americans clearly perceive this difference. Donald V., a retired former trucking company executive, noted that despite his family's stable financial situation, he feels the impact of inflation in his everyday life. He has cut back on expenses, like dining out at upscale restaurants, and opted to renew his car lease rather than buying a new one. Inflation has not been well controlled, he said, expressing confidence in Trump's ability to manage the economy, a candidate he voted for in both the 2016 and 2020 elections. Becky Kell's story, a resident of Land O'Lakes, Florida, highlights the struggles with rising costs. After her husband's death in late 2020, finding a job became challenging as prices soared. Although she secured a more stable position in the healthcare sector in March this year, she still works additional jobs and rents out rooms for extra income. She shared that living expenses now seem much higher than they were under Trump's administration, and she still plans to vote for him in November. People aren't economists, said Bernard Baumol, an economic expert from the Economic Outlook Group. They don't rely on complicated economic indicators like the CPI, Consumer Price Index. Instead, they simply compare the price of a carton of eggs today to what it cost 2 years ago. Trump's journey has truly been remarkable. From his early days in business to becoming a major figure in politics, he has proven that with determination and bold vision, limits are not obstacles, but challenges to be overcome. From building a powerful real estate empire to leading the nation through challenging times, Trump is the embodiment of the saying, think big, act big. Do you want to see him back in the White House? Share your thoughts, and don't forget to follow for more fascinating updates on politics and the economy. Goodbye, and see you next time.